And we're back out on the cheap seats. Josh Komnick and Cameron Kurtz out here. And we've been joined by head coach Neil Alexander, and Josh and I and Coach Al. We have been talking a little bit about the Central State A Conference and recapping Lincoln's perfect 5-0 start this year, and of course that championship of the Eaton Round Robin Tournament. But Coach, we want to focus our attention more on the game that you're playing tonight. You mentioned it just real briefly, of course, a big road game for you. You're not really looking forward to the bus ride, but it'll be the home opener for Normal West tonight. And what do you see coming out of that game?
Well, anytime you play somebody in the Big 12, it's kind of the Big 12 versus the Central State 8, and we'd like to think that our league is very good, and you know, they would like to think the same. So it's kind of a interconference battle that we like to go win and play. And you know, Normal West is a 4A school that we want to compete against, and you know, they bring very good athletes for us to participate against. And you know, they've got a great player in Austin Stewart. I believe he's only a junior, and I think there's a lot of good players around, young players around the area. And you know, I really feel that tonight will be a challenge for us to go up there. But I hope that if we continue to play the way we have, that we'll be okay.
Yeah, Coach. Last night, Champaign Central beat Normal West 59-54. Austin Stewart had 20 points. Bryce Bronke, I know another junior, 17 points. He had 3 3-pointers, and Chris Ball with 12 points. Coach, is that an advantage for Normal West to have played last night, or is it maybe a disadvantage for you guys unable to get a game in last night?
Well, I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know how that, you know, if you go 2 to 3 weeks and not play, right. I think it's effective. But hopefully the kids are hungry to get back on the floor, and you know, that's kind of how I look at it. That you know, we don't scrimmage a whole lot in practice. We try to get them to the point to where they get hungry to get on the court to play their games and so forth. And you know, you've been around long enough to know that we really we really get after it in practice. And you know, we like to think that tonight's their night off if they go play, and tonight should be fun.
Have fun, yeah.
You know, I think they look at it that way. I know they're looking forward to the game.
Coach, Normal West were winners 57-41 over Central Catholic. They had that inter-city tournament last week while we had the Eaton Electrical. They beat Central Catholic. They beat Bloomington High School 57-50. They lost to Normal Community. No, actually, sorry, U-High 57-50, and then they also lost to Normal 48-34. So you know, they're off to a 2-3 start, 1-2 in the conference. And last year, Coach, you actually put it on them pretty good, although only a 10-point game. I remember it was really more than that, but you got to remember that was Brackney's big night. 42 points last night for Ben Brackney. Not last night, last year against Normal West. Lincoln won 85-75. Wish we had Brackney back also this year. Smith 22 and Nelson 16. So I don't know if you can count on 42 from somebody tonight, Coach, but you know, it's basically the same team back for Normal West. You said a lot of juniors. Bryce Bronke, a junior. Austin Stewart averaging 25 a game. I'm looking at their roster, Coach. Only 2 seniors even on the roster, and I don't even know if they play.
Yeah, I don't either. You know, I know the key ones in Bronke and Stewart are the 2 keys that we must you know and pay attention to. And you know, they play a good aggressive man-to-man. So you know, hopefully you know, and again, it's easier for us to play against teams outside our conference as far as executing our offenses against them. They don't see us, you know, but once a year, where our conference schools focus on, you know, seeing us, you know, probably 3, 4, watch
right.
4, 5, 6 tapes, and they have us scouted pretty well. But you know, when you get outside your league, that's when you know, things look to where you have a lot of success.
All right, well, Coach, on paper, the Railers are basically set for another impressive year. You had that impressive year last year, a perfect 5-0 start at the beginning of this year. Lots of good things that I have seen, that Josh has seen, and that the entire community has seen. Excellent 3-point shooting, excellent defense on that 1-2-2 ball press, as always, and the Railers are probably going to be the team in the area to watch. Best of luck to you guys tonight. taking on Normal West, and of course that is a game you can hear on WLCN. Josh will be joining the voice of the Railers, Jeff Benjamin, and Tom Larry for that game tonight, and that game set to be 7:30. Is that correct?
I think it's 7:30. Yeah, 7:30 start.
7:30 start time for that game. WLCN online if you can't listen to it on the radio, and of course we have all the archives from our previous Cheap Seats show, and also archives from all of the basketball games on the World Wide Web, WLCN.com. We thank Coach Neil Alexander for being in here with us. And Josh, we got just a few minutes here to go over the NFL just real quick here. Let's go ahead and kind of talk about the Bears a little bit. You know, the Bears have their eyes on the playoffs, and rightfully have for the last couple of weeks. And at 8-3, they face a tough Detroit team whose record really doesn't indicate of how tough they can be. The Bears almost had a problem with Detroit earlier on in the season, and almost
had a problem. We lost.
Yeah.
if not for that, you know, I don't know what kind of call you want to call that, but
yeah. You know, regardless of what the ruling was, it was a game that was close and definitely a nail biter. You know, for the Bear fans, 8-3. The Bears coming in for this weekend, definitely first place in the NFC North. With the Packers losing last week and the Bears winning last week against Philadelphia, moves the Bears into the sole first place bracket. What do you see coming out of that game?
Well, huge week last week for the Bears. I mean, they win at home against Philly, who the team that a lot of experts thought they would lose to, and the Packers lose. And then you come into this game, it's a heated rivalry game. You know, that Detroit, whenever the Bears play Detroit, Green Bay, you know, that division is heated anyways. I think they're a little bit different team. I think the Bears are better than they were when we first played Detroit. One, Matthew Stafford is out. He's not going to be playing. I don't think their running back is back in Javad Best. So I think the Bears are better now than they were. So I look to the Bears to keep things rolling. They realize what's in front of them as far as the playoffs, that division title. So I look for the Bears to maybe not a handle win, but we'll come out with the W tomorrow.
A team that would hope to think that they have their eyes on the playoffs, but it's still a little unsure, is that team from Indianapolis. And this is about the time of year where the Colts are printing up playoff tickets. Who knows? That may not be the case. At 6-5, Indianapolis has had its slumps over the last couple of games and has really hit a speed bump in the last couple of weeks, and that was shown evident last week playing at home against San Diego, and a team that everything went wrong in a game to where the wheels just seemed to fall off for the Colts. Peyton Manning had a bad month in November, 9 interceptions with 9 touchdowns, and Peyton probably not one of his better seasons, but he's Peyton Manning.
Well, you're right. They've had a lot of difficulties. I mean, injuries on the defense, no running game. Austin Collie goes out. Dallas Clark is out. I mean, Peyton Manning can do so much. You know, he's done so much for the last, I don't know how many years with no defense and everything. I mean, he's really done it by himself. I mean, yes, he's had great talent, Marvin Harrison, Reggie Wayne, that kind of thing. But it looks like to me that they don't throw to Reggie Wayne, and maybe that's my thinking because I got Reggie Wayne on my fantasy team, but they're not throwing the ball like they used to.
You know, I don't know if it's necessarily that or if it's a combination of things. You lose Clark at the beginning of the season due to a hand injury. Austin Collie took that big hit a couple of weeks ago.
And now maybe they're doubling on Reggie Wayne more.
And that's probably a reason why. Of course, the Colts have had their issues at running back over the last couple of years. But and I'm not saying this for our listeners out there in Radio Land. I'm not bashing Peyton Manning at all. I'm a Peyton Manning lover. Yeah. You know, true and true. But you know what, Jake? We got you back in here for our last couple of minutes. Here's a game that's featuring a pair of 9-2 teams and could really be a key matchup in the AFC, and that's the Jets and Patriots going at it on Monday night. What do you see for that one?
Oh, I like the Jets. Jets are tough. It's one of the few teams that can just run it down your throat every game. It doesn't matter what defense they're playing, they're going to have a running game to go against it. They're going to put up 100 yards in running. Unfortunately, Belichick's unbelievable as a coach, especially this year. Actually, I think he's doing the best
job. It's hard to go against him.
I'm definitely not a Belichick fan or New England fan, but for that matter. But he can come up with game plans that just work. But this week against that Jets team, I just don't see it.
On that same note, with Belichick being the coach that he is and regarded as one of the best coaches of our generation, and could probably go down as one of the better coaches of all time, and he has that professionalism about him that a lot of people admire. And then you've got a coach in Rex Ryan.
Yeah.
Well,
he wears a sweatshirt on
the
side
with
a cut on the seam and the front, so it doesn't choke him.
I'm talking about the way he runs his practice. Of course, on the field, his attire on the field, I think he looks like a bump. I'm going to throw that out there. But as far as the way he runs his practice and the way that he controls the team and as a management style, he shows professionalism. Now, a coach who has a little bit more fun in what he does is the Jets' Rex Ryan.
Yeah.
I mean, that's been pretty evident in his post-game interviews. Daunting a wig there a couple of weeks ago. But for a team, though, with a 9-2 record, why not have fun?
Well, business-like. I think you got business-like Belichick on one end, and you've got comedian something, Ryan. But either way, they're both doing the job. Talent has to come in somewhere. I don't care how good a coach you are, you got to have talent, and both of them have talent. I like the Jets just because, like Jake said, the defense. I don't think the Patriots' defense is very good this year, but I don't know how you go against Belichick because he just keeps doing it. The
other thing is you don't see too many teams that I've watched this year against the Patriots really get up there and just punch that offensive line in the mouth.
Yeah.
And that's the one thing the Jets do as well. They get up there and they go at you. So, it could be a lot of fun to watch, but you can't rely on a lot of throwing against the Jets defense. And that's what the Patriots have to do. They have to just chuck the ball all game long.
Then the Steelers, just like the Steelers in Baltimore on Sunday night.
Yep.
I mean, that's you talk about defense. You want to watch hard hitting, and some guys don't care about fines or hard hitting. That Harrison guy is going after you. Yep. It doesn't matter where.
Ray Lewis.
Yeah, I mean, there's some good defense going on Sunday night too.
You slap a fine on him, he's not going to care. He goes at it.
What's 25 G's to those guys?
Well, yeah. 25 grand to them, that's toilet paper.
I think they are picking on this guy a little bit. And I don't want to get into that topic, but
something about it is, and I've thought about this quite a bit actually, taking it easy on hits. Well, in the NFL, you're talking about guys that are moving much faster than any of us could have ever moved in our prime. I mean, they're moving so fast. If you don't do something that's instincts to you, you're going to get hurt.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't
slow up.
You can't slow up. You're going to turn your head just slightly, so you maybe not making that connection, and you're going to snap your back, snap your neck. I mean, something real bad can happen if you try to pull up on anything, in any sport.
Alrighty, gentlemen, I think that is just going to about do it for us. Just a reminder that the action does not stop here at 11 o'clock. We invite you to tune in to our remote session for today. Jim Ash and Jeff number 2 will be out at Blaze from 11 to 1 today. Stop on out at Blaze and get you that pork chop sandwich. And Josh, real quick, next week we will be at Lincoln IGA. That's right, next Saturday, December the 11th at Lincoln IGA during the Lincoln-Logan County Food Pantry Drive. And, of course, we will have Coach Alexander in with us. And then the following week, December 18th, we'll be live out at the Christian Village.
Yep.
So a lot of good action to come. For Josh Komnick, this is Cameron Kurtz, thanking everyone for listening to us today. You have been listening to the Cheap Seats on 96.3 WLCN. For all of us here, we wish the Railers best of luck. And until next week, we'll see you down the road.